In the small, secluded town of Blackwood, there stood an old mansion shrouded in mystery and fear. It was said to be haunted, with whispers of spirits and apparitions seen through the cracked windows. For years, the mansion had remained abandoned, its decaying facade a stark contrast to the vibrant life of the town. Yet, it drew the curious and the brave who dared to uncover its secrets. Two friends, Emily and Sarah, had always been intrigued by the stories surrounding Blackwood Mansion. They had grown up hearing tales of its haunted halls and ghostly residents. On a chilly autumn evening, driven by a mix of curiosity and the thrill of adventure, they decided to explore the mansion. Armed with flashlights and a sense of daring, they made their way through the overgrown path leading to the entrance. The mansion loomed large and foreboding as they approached, its windows dark and lifeless. The air was thick with an eerie silence, broken only by the rustling leaves and the distant hoot of an owl. Emily pushed open the creaking door, and the two friends stepped inside. The air was musty, and the floorboards groaned under their weight. Their flashlights cast long, wavering shadows on the walls. As they explored the mansion, they came across rooms filled with dust-covered furniture and cobwebs. The air seemed to grow colder, and the sense of being watched became more palpable. In the grand hall, they found a staircase leading to the upper floors. Hesitating for a moment, they decided to ascend, their footsteps echoing in the vast, empty space. On the second floor, they discovered a long corridor lined with doors. Each door seemed to hold a secret, a story waiting to be told. Emily and Sarah chose one at random and entered. The room was a bedroom, frozen in time. A large bed with a tattered canopy stood in the center, and a dresser with a cracked mirror sat against the wall. As they moved deeper into the room, a sudden chill filled the air, and the door slammed shut behind them. Startled, they turned to find the door locked. Panic set in as they realized they were trapped. The room grew colder and their breath became visible in the dim light. Whispers filled the air, indistinct and unsettling. Emily and Sarah clung to each other, their fear mounting with each passing moment. Suddenly, a figure appeared in the mirror, a woman in a tattered dress with hollow eyes. She seemed to be staring directly at them, her expression filled with sorrow and anger. The whispers grew louder, forming words that echoed in their minds. "Leave this place, or suffer the same fate." The figure raised her hand, pointing towards the door. Summoning their courage, Emily and Sarah rushed to the door. To their surprise, it opened easily, and they stumbled out into the corridor. The mansion seemed to come alive around them, with shadows moving and doors creaking open and shut. They ran down the stairs, desperate to escape the haunted place. As they reached the ground floor, the front door burst open, revealing a group of townspeople who had come searching for them. The townspeople, armed with lanterns and concerned expressions, helped the two friends out of the mansion. Outside, the air was fresh and filled with the sounds of the night. Emily and Sarah recounted their experience, the fear still etched on their faces. The townspeople listened, with a mix of disbelief and concern. They explained that the mansion had a dark history, one that involved a family tragedy and the restless spirits that lingered. The woman in the mirror was believed to be the spirit of the mansion's former owner, who had suffered a great loss and had been unable to move on. Her sorrow and anger had trapped her, and any who entered the mansion risked encountering her wrath. Emily and Sarah left Blackwood Mansion behind, their curiosity sated, and their fear still fresh. They vowed never to return, understanding the true danger that lay within its walls. The mansion remained a dark and foreboding presence in the town, a place where whispers of the past mingled with the shadows of the present. In the years that followed, The mansion stood untouched, a reminder of the horrors that had once occurred within its walls. The townspeople spoke of it in hushed tones, warning others to stay away. Emily and Sarah moved on with their lives, but the memory of that night stayed with them, a chilling reminder of the unknown and the unseen. The mansion, with its haunted halls and restless spirits, remained a mystery, its secrets buried in the whispers of the shadows. It stood as a testament to the past, a place where the living and the dead coexisted in an uneasy truce. And though it was avoided by most, it continued to draw the curious and the brave who sought to uncover its dark history, only to find themselves lost in the whispering shadows of Blackwood Mansion. Despite their fear, Emily and Sarah couldn't shake the lingering curiosity about the mansion's history. They visited the local library, hoping to uncover more about the tragic events that had taken place there. The librarian, an elderly woman named Mrs. Whittaker, seemed reluctant to discuss the mansion, but eventually led them to a dusty archive. They discovered that the mansion had once belonged to the Hawthorne family, prominent figures in Blackwood's history. The family had been prosperous until a series of misfortunes struck. The eldest daughter, Eliza, had mysteriously disappeared, and shortly after, the mother fell ill and died. The father, consumed by grief, took his own life, leaving the youngest child, Margaret, alone in the cursed house. Emily and Sarah found an old photograph of Eliza, the woman they had seen in the mirror. Her eyes, even in the faded picture, seemed to hold the same sorrow and anger they had witnessed. They felt a connection to her, a desire to help her find peace. Determined to uncover the truth, they returned to the mansion, this time with Mrs. Whittaker's reluctant blessing. She gave them a key, a relic from the past, and warned them to be careful. The friends entered the mansion again, feeling a mix of fear and resolve. In the grand hall, they called out to Eliza, hoping to communicate with her spirit. The air grew cold, and the shadows seemed to gather around them. Eliza's figure appeared once more, her eyes filled with desperation. Emily and Sarah pleaded with her to reveal what had happened, to help them understand her torment. Eliza's ghost led them to a hidden room in the basement, one that had been overlooked in previous explorations. Inside, they found a diary belonging to Margaret, detailing the family's tragic decline. Margaret wrote of Eliza's secret love affair with a stable boy, which had angered their father. In a fit of rage, he had locked Eliza away in the hidden room, where she eventually perished. As Emily and Sarah read the diary aloud, Eliza's spirit seemed to grow stronger, her form more defined. They realized that Eliza's soul was trapped by the guilt and sorrow of her family's fate. By uncovering the truth and bringing it to light, they hoped to set her free. They took the diary to the town historian, who authenticated it and promised to update the town records. The acknowledgement of Eliza's story, her love and her unjust fate seemed to lift a weight from the mansion. When they returned to the mansion one final time, the air felt lighter, and the oppressive atmosphere had dissipated. In the grand hall, Eliza's spirit appeared once more, but this time her expression was serene. She mouthed a silent thank you before fading away, her spirit finally at peace. Emily and Sarah knew that the mansion, though still haunted by its past, was no longer a place of torment. Years later, the mansion was restored and turned into a museum, telling the true story of the Hawthorne family. Emily and Sarah's bravery in uncovering the truth was commemorated, and they were hailed as local heroes. The mansion, once a place of fear and mystery, became a symbol of redemption and the enduring power of truth. The townspeople no longer feared the mansion, but respected it as a piece of their history. The shadows no longer whispered of sorrow, but of remembrance and peace. Emily and Sarah continued their lives, forever changed by their experience, knowing they had made a difference in bringing closure to a haunted soul. Blackwood Mansion stood as a testament to the past, its halls no longer echoing with sorrow, but with the stories of those who had lived and loved within its walls. And in the quiet nights of Blackwood, when the wind rustled through the trees, it seemed to carry a gentle, thankful whisper from the mansion, a reminder that some mysteries are worth unraveling.